Hello, Ace the Supervillain here again. Let's continue our lecture on drawing with the mouse, moving on to shading. So, a couple ways that we could approach this. Let's do my favorite, which is sort of a cheap and easy way. So we have our various layers of colors going on. And there. We're going to add a new layer to this, set this to, multiply. Come in and typically pick a very light bluish color. Great big brush size. Use that to go down up here. That. There we go. We're going to start filling in stuff like that. Turn off the smooth stroke to do these filling bits, and obviously you could use the the select and fill technique that I showed you last time. Let's see. Oops, but then turn it back on. And you start doing lines that you can actually see. Here's where you might add it up, like some more detail to your drawing too. There. Alright, and you can do that same trick if, like, I want to do that. I don't want to ease it over here, although actually it kind of makes sense right there. That's just for purposes. Do that. And I can touch that all I want. Won't mess up. Oops. This brush. Let's see, the hotkey for the brush is the letter P, so I almost said it says no, I want the P. If I say it again without explaining, that's why I want P. I don't want actual P. Go. Let's see the names of my shaded tail. There's like a muscle line down the middle. Round that back up like that. Be a little more. To that, okay. A little up here. I'm going to use that this time. Nope, not sure. Let's see. Here, be more textured with it. Oops. there. Running out of things to talk about. Let's see with these. I don't know if we need to be as shapely. This might be me getting tired, which is the real reason I'm not a real artist. But I do not have the patience. Nope. Press the P when I wanted to shift E. Yeah, this is all. Whoops. Control Y. Yes. This is also the part of the drawing where typically you throw on some YouTubes or some heavy metal music and really zone out, and I can't do that because I'm talking to you. Like that. That. Yeah, let's do it like that. It's also alright. So this is just complaining. Something about this particular mouse that I own right now is that it occasionally just doesn't accept that I clicked on something. Like I think I clicked the tool, like moved on with my life, and it's like you didn't click that. You're still on the last tool. Also, I don't know. I don't know that I can verbalize how I'm making these decisions about how I'm shading this hair. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the kind of thing where it's like I just typically do this. I'm not really thinking about it. Yeah, these are just conventions that I tend to follow. Let's see. Sand. Like, kind of keep following these shapes, right? So like it's curved, follow the curved. You don't want to do, like that because you're killing your shapes. And you don't want to necessarily just follow the lines that you already did either. Missed a spot. There we go. It'll be easier. Right, because you want give your body some kind of 3D-ness. It doesn't necessarily follow the same contours that the outside does. Let's do another spot. And obviously, it also at the same time shouldn't be going like completely off the off the body plan that you've got from your lines, but you know, so everything in moderation. Don't follow rules, just do it right. Out here. And you know, you've got an eraser, you've got undos. Try things. See what it looks like. One thing that I definitely think for like drawing and life in general is that you should never waste time wondering when you can try it out. Like if you're thinking like if you're kind of standing there paralyzed thinking like, oh no, should I add this shape or not? Like just, you know, make a copy, see what it looks like. If you're sketching, you know, if you're sketching on physical media somewhere and you might actually mess up your drawing, then like put it on a piece of paper somewhere else. So it's like the rest of it. There we go. Yeah, and then I broke it. All right, yeah. Let's say we're there. Oh, let's do the face. Well, it's kind of tricky deciding what to do with the face. Shading and like, how would I explain shading? This is this whole thing. Kind of expect you to know how to do this. You know, work from reference. A little bit on the eyes. More on this eye because it's all bulged up. There we go. Down there. Okay. Like that. All right. Good. We can do the same thing with highlights. So instead of a multiply layer, we can do an addition layer or dodge layer, something like that. Let's try addition. Oh, wait. That should work, right? Oh, I'm going to be erasing. Yeah, it's a little too bright. Let's do, oh. It's too bright. It's too dark. There's one thing right in the middle. So one way, this isn't where I want the spot. Do with this. Should I want addition? That looks bad. Usually I don't use addition. Let's do pin light. No, that's darkening. There's soft light. That's also darkening. I thought that. Yeah, okay. It's like screen. Screen's kind of actually. So we want this somewhere that I can see it on all of the surfaces, on all of the base colors. Divide. I usually like. Yeah, right. Because that's very like vibrant. All right, and then. It's a little too vibrant, so you can do like lightness. Oh, increase lightness to decrease the effect? Yes. I don't know why it went like completely overboard there. So now I can't see it at all on here. Yep, that's actually not that one. Yeah, let's pick one that looks good for your skin. Don't do the hair. There's an important point that I want to make about this. Alright, so I'm just going to come in there. And this, I'll be honest with you, doing the highlights often doesn't look great to me. Like the hair really needs it. Claws will probably benefit from that. Or something like this. You also sometimes putting it right up next to the shadows is good too. Which I do like that. Let's do that here. Whoa. Let's turn that back on. And the screen jumps for some reason. Not too high. Yeah, so I guess like compared to inking, because like obviously I get to the, I often like get to the point of inking the sketch and then I'm like, all right, looks good, done. And then I don't do this. Like this is part of why I switched to 3D was so that I wouldn't have to do this. So like I'm gonna show you what I know, but absolutely I am not any kind of leader in doing this. All right, like a little like that. So sometimes maybe like a little textured with it. It's kind of more like that. That can look better than just like a straight. Let's do that like this. Just a straight gash like that. What would I actually want that? Not too much. So I don't like avoid the mark there. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's kind of okay. Do that with this area. Yeah, the main thing here is consistency. So like if you're doing that with your highlights over here, don't like make that the only place you're doing it. Is one thing. There's one thing where I do miss the tablet, because with the tablet you can, just press less firmly and get a bigger or smaller dot. Let's zoom in actually, like texture this a bit. Yeah. So we can start like really small and just kind of make our things like that. A little bit over here. getting lazy. Is that gonna make that look three-dimensional? No, that looks good. Okay. Initially, that. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now do the hair. So since we're picking a different color, we could put the hair on a different layer. What do we say? Darker is brighter? Yeah. And that's like, that one's too bright. So, okay. Same trick. Colors, Uchroma. Oh no, lighter is less. Okay. And to be honest, I might have forgotten to actually color pick it. That was the point of, use hue chroma, because like changing it on this doesn't tell you anything about what color it's actually going to be. I'm gonna turn the smooth stroke way down. Let's see. So we want this kind of isometric effect. If you're not sure what to do, by all means, use reference, right? This is not a trial and error kind of thing. Look at pictures. Look at, you can just go up here. It's YouTube that I'm uploading. Go to your Google Images. Actually, wait, yeah. It's gonna get me results about Google Images, but you know what I mean. Allosaurus girl. Let's see. I was like, I shouldn't search for that. Who knows what that's going to be? But look it up. Look at what other people do. Don't reinvent wheels. Where would this be? Over here. Actually, right down here. Like that. And as you can tell, I am getting super lazy. Put the big one there. Let's put the big one here. Yeah. So there you go. So yeah, certainly it depends on what you're using this for. Let's get this claw on the back. Smooth stroke back up. Move gap between, yeah, not really. Too much. Boom, there we go. Okay. So yeah, nice, simple, cartoony way to do it. There you go. You probably want to like, if you're gonna like bounce back and forth, you want to label your various layers. But you know, I don't know. Was in the habit of making like a couple of these a day for a while, so for one thing, good at spotting them. Take the time to write things out. A little bit more right here. Okay, good, perfect. Perfect. All right, so let's do some more advanced kind of shading things. Now, so let's go. Yeah. So one way is let's just kind of go one step farther than this. This been told. This is generally accepted to be like a sort of a bad or like beginner way to do it, but I'm like, if you do it well, it's okay. So you go to your multiply layer here. We have the smudge tool. So what the smudge tool does is it takes the color and smudges it across. You have your rate will determine how much. Actually, we definitely want to make a copy first. There we go. So you do want to kind of go like back and forth, I think, to get in there. And so I'm using one of these like actual brush textures. You can look for one that'll, yeah. So it's this acrylic 4. You know, if you want that, if you want something more kind of smooth and computery, turn it right down, I think. That actually, this bigger. There you go. It's kind of like a smoother way to do it. Yeah, depending on what you want. Let's just kind of go through our options. We have goofy ones like the vegetable brush. Yeah, actually, so that's the thing. Vegetable brush is like, it's meant to look like you like vegetables like that. It's great for doing like kinds of wacky textures, though. Do not shun the vegetable brush. It's kind of because we had our original base colors in it, so it's a little bit weird. Grunge. Grunge looks big. Let's go less grunge. There you go. Looks very well there. Oh, I remember something I wanted to show you, and I forgot. Like that, and then same deal. Make a copy of our highlight layer. Just kind of get it down like that. Now, because these are smaller, you might want to decrease the rate like that, so that you're not like fully destroying them. Yeah, there you go. This is kind of a thing. Get a good look at it. See, I'm gonna do the whole hair. I don't think I'm gonna way. There you go. Yeah, and like certainly zoomed out, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, also, so like if you're doing something that like you need to be zoomed out to look right, like don't upload the big version, you know, like make it, like go to like image, scale image, you know, we can do like 20% will look good. I forgot that's going to take an hour because it's so big. It's not exaggerating, hyperbolizing. But yeah, there you go. You do that. You upload that. You don't upload the big gigantic one. That's just for you. All right. So you get the idea, and then obviously the other way to do that would have been to put it in with the grunge brush in the first place. Grunge. Just, whoops. Multiply layer. Yes, yes. Ta-da, like that. Yeah, it's gonna go kind of quick and messy to get points across. Then you might say, oh, but I want a darker color. You can do that. Just get darker on the same thing. See, and then kind of color pick to go back. You may want to kind of set your eraser also to the grunge brush. There you go. And kind of lightly click. So why am I lightly clicking? Because I think if I do this, it's just gonna do too much. Lightly clicking will give me more texture. Just kind of zoom in on that. And I can take that and go. So doing that. So there's also this tool, the smooth tool, and is it set to smooth or blur tool? And this just does nothing. Like I think it was like very gently blurs it for a while, but yeah, like not a fan. This is not what you want. There's also, you know, filters that you can do when you're done. Good old median blur to like that. It's hard to explain. The thing that I forgot. Let's see. Here. Okay. Not that one, this one. Alright. So you might look at this and say, like, yeah, like this dark color, like it works over here, but it doesn't work like kind of on this darker skin bits. Like especially if they can kind of like barely see that that's how it's supposed to be. What you can do is go back to this, kind of select that, make sure it's not sample merged, go back up to your multiply layer, which we're going to duplicate again, colors, that's because we have the wrong one selected, decrease the lightness, so multiply is fairly straightforward that way. There you go. You could also say that like we don't like how it's kind of bluing the hair. Nope, wrong button. So we can switch that. This would be like a little more red, like that. etc. Yeah, so let's explain what I just did better. So we're going to this thing, to the old color layer, right? Selecting that color. And so now just, we can kind of forget that that exists. That's the highlight layer, we don't want that. We want this layer, right? And so now it's taking those blue areas, because this is what our multiply layer actually looks like, and then saying, all right, the ones that kind of intersect that area, I want you to darken those up. And that'll make them that'll fix it. Running out of words. It's hard for me to explain art stuff in words because English is not equipped, especially computer art stuff. English is not designed to handle that kind of thing. Okay. And you might say like, oh, well, these dark lines these black lines, that's a little too cartoony. What can I do about that? So we're going to make a new layer so we're not losing the old ones. Let's see. A couple ways we can think about this. We can set this to an add addition. Do this. Come up with a color that we like. So I'm not fully sure what color that actually is. So addition, nope. In the right layer? Why is it going incremental? Should not be incremental. Oh, let's do. Let's see. I'd have thought addition wouldn't touch the it's a little darker than that. Actually, no. All right, sorry. I thought addition wouldn't touch the transparent bits, but apparently it is. Let's see. Okay. So we can press this button here to lock the alpha channel, and now it's only going to draw on things that exist. So one problem is that if you go over it, it's going to lighten up again. So what we could do, instead of addition, let's do lighten only. That's the thing you can do. Here we go, lighten only. There we go. All right. So we can kind of just scooch over there. This is also why, remember I said in the last one that it can be good to put the lines for different materials on different layers. And this is what that little tidbit was for. And let's do a darker one. These bits there in shadow. So we can go right up there because it's on darken only, or lighten only. Oops, no, that's your face. Yep, and certainly, like if you were planning to have this sort of look to your image, yeah, could have just drawn it like this in the first place, you know. When we did the initial linking, but if you didn't, not the end of the world. You can still add it, and certainly can still be kind of helpful to not like think about what colors you're doing while you're in the inking process. Actually, I don't. Yeah, sorry. Just realized something. This doesn't have to be on light only because it's on. Because the alpha channel is locked. You can just do that. You can just pick the color you want. Bam, right on there. This, as you may have guessed, is something that I almost never do because it's, to my mind, very hard to get right. But yeah, you could. And yeah, certainly if you see those kind of higher end game CG sort of artworks, it would do that. And the kind of the more blurry looking shading techniques. Other way, if you want to be kind of more real art about your shading techniques, well, I don't know. If you wanted to be more real art, you probably shouldn't have done the lines at all. Let's just kind of take one of our base color layers, duplicate it, so I don't lose what I have here. No. This is the grunge brush, like that. Yeah. So pick this. I'm gonna just pick. So do that same, lock the alpha channel, so you're going back there. Now, also, like I might want to color in like in here without messing with that. So you know what to do. Just kind of click like that. You can select, grow, so that I don't get any weirdness kind of as it meets. There we go. The other thing, now you would get weirdness as it kind of crosses over there. So I'm going to do this. And you can pick kind of a lighter color. Oops. So the way I would do this is kind of get in there, color pick something kind of light. Yeah, not light enough. Oh, I don't know. Here's what we'll do. Set your opacity to 50. Like that. And I can color pick. And go over that again. Yeah, the same thing. Go back up there. That's where we want to be. Yeah. Like that. And if you want to make it lighter, pick the lighter color, go with the darker color. I absolutely hate doing that because it feels sloppy to me. Like, I love the, you know, I guess to be fair, I am using the grunge brush, aren't I? We did, let's do like this one. Okay. Do I need to select it? Well, might as well just do. Not shrink. Oh yeah. So one of the issues is that once you've done that, you kind of can't go back to that. But that's kind of one point in that's merged. Keeping your original like base color is that you can then kind of go back to that, click the original base color area, and you're not losing anything. Yeah, so let's do about the acrylic brush just to. It's not. Yeah, actually, let's do the opacity, and you can also do incremental opacity, which means like so as you kind of go over the same thing, it's gonna brush back over. Oops, we did get down there a little bit. There's also the airbrush tool, which is this, which I don't really fully understand the difference, but it's just like even more yeah, even more of that effect. Move that down here, actually. Yeah, smooth things out. What would that look like with grunge? Grunge airbrush. One of the tricks here is if you're doing something like that, make yourself a little. Oops. Make yourself a little color blotch. Actually, like that. Like that on increment. Yeah, like that. So then now I can say, like, I want the dark one, just come up here. I want the light one, just come over here. I want to highlight in there too. And then you can kind of turn. Whoops, too much. Because you want this to be turned on. Yeah, and then you can kind of get in there and make something nice and do like that. And there's just absolutely nothing that a tablet will help you with for that. Like if you're really like into physical painting, then I'm sure you can use the like pressure opacity tools to get it a little more similar to like, or you can get a little more useful feedback. Like, I don't know if even trying to be physical is really ideal, because it seems to me like there's sort of a lot more you can do with digital art than than just pretending to be physical, Get like a little more. Whoops, not that one. Not that. Let's use this. Where you can do those kind of light clicks. One thing, yeah, that's something. So one of the other reasons I don't like doing this is because when GIMP kind of guesses between colors, it tends to guess on the side of this sort of muddy gray. And I really don't like that. It's part of why doing the multiply layer is that you get the multiply kind of color interpretation is tends to make it a little more vibrant, which I like. Obviously, I have this crazy bright cartoon character. And I don't think that the muddy look is necessarily like wrong, or it's not necessarily a problem with the program. Like, it is, if you mix paints and dyes, then it starts turning brown. This is kind of how colors are, but so one way around that is to kind of like do your color mixing, come back to it, and then at the end of it, you go to your hue chroma, boost the chroma, and it does kind of affect your base colors, but hue, let's look a little bit more how it was. Yeah, but basically, yeah, you can just color correct it afterward, and you can get something better. Yeah, and certainly you can do variations of these techniques. Like, you could just put down base colors and then use like the airbrush to be doing your multiply layer. Yeah, no, it's fine. Get out. It thinks it's putting that in the unused corner of the stage, but everybody puts stuff in the unused corner of the stage. So we can do, yeah, so we can just kind of lightly airbrush that in. Just a grungy airbrush. Yeah, or you could do, let's see, I wonder if there's one that would do like both light and dark at the same time. Nah, not really. There's the burn layer, you can do that. Burn also does kind of more interesting things with its color interpretation. But it's almost impossible to tell what you're going to get. And dodge is the equivalent for lightning. Ew. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's just no way to tell what this is actually going to do. That's where you come in and, you know, take your hue chroma thing and be like, what could possibly fix this? Yeah, like that's kind of okay. And certainly, like, yeah, you can get cool looking stuff, but just color pick and say, okay, that's what we ended up with. Yeah, you can get cool looking things with it, but ultimately you're gonna get something that's wildly out of control and probably looks like trash. So don't do it. I'm gonna see what it looks like now because I'm curious. What am I doing? So I'm gonna try that with the software. And part of this is that it's like gonna mix weird with the layer that's underneath it, right? Because these are still two separate things. Anyways, like, I don't know, if you want to play around with that, that can be played around with. I know here on Newgrounds in particular, we like art that kind of pushes the limit and goes kind of weird. So yeah, like if you're making that kind of art, certainly go for it. If you're trying to make a more traditional cartoony character, then I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. So yeah, I think that's it. That's the more or less the extent of my knowledge on shading in GIMP, all using the mouse. It's really absolutely no reason to own a tablet for this part. I hated trying to paint with a tablet that drove me up the wall. So yeah, enjoy. Ooh, actually, one more thing. We'll go back to our lines like that. Because maybe you don't like that sharp pointer. You can do that same technique as long as the alpha channel is locked. Not going anywhere. Not using the grunge brush for that though. Use this. Nice, soft, smooth, relaxing. Alternatively, when you did this originally with the brush, use the soft, don't have the opacity, you don't need that. Just do it with the soft brush in the first place. Right? Boom. So yeah, there's always more. You know, experiment, go crazy, push the envelope, have fun. Because if it's not fun, why are you doing it? I mean, that's one thing if you're a garbage collector, but if you're an artist and you're not having fun, I don't know, man. Yeah, okay, yes. I think that's it. Go out and conquer.